Hello Swans fans, Chris from A Bevy of Bloods here. In this episode we do something a little different from our regular podcast. I was fortunate to interview the Swans superfan and social media presence that is Zane Red-and-White. Zane was nice enough to catch up for an interview while he was here in Sydney. We met at a noisy cafe in Surrey Hills the day after the infamous Buddy 1000 game. Both of us were beaming with good energy and excitement. We briefly talked about our personal history as Swans fans, about life a little, before we then moved to a quiet office block, and then I started recording. Over the next 20 odd minutes, we touched on a number of topics related to his history as a Swans fan, the players he loved growing up and the players that he loves now, and the state of the team and the game generally. So sit back and listen to a much more knowledgeable and charismatic character than you're typically used to on this channel. And lastly, I would love to apologise to Zane and his fans for taking so long to get this into gear. I am frankly not as technically savvy as I thought I was. And so with no further ado, I present the wonderful Zane Red-and-White. All right, a quick bevy time. We are here with none other than Zane Red-and-White. Thank you, Zane, for coming up to Sydney.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Pleasure's all mine.
All right, so for some of the Swans fans out there that may not recognise your face, do you want to just give them a bit of a heads up of how you're involved in the Swans?
Just through social media, really. Like, passionate fan and started something up on social media because being in Victoria, there's not a lot of us. And so I wanted to talk Swans with people that was passionate like I was. And the community's just been great. Like, hearing their stories from up this end especially, like you today telling me your backstory, it's a different frame of mind to be able to see how it's grown and everything like that. Yeah, I just love talking footy, and I can't do it in Victoria because there's not that many of us, so social media's been brilliant. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I would personally say that I think the way you go about the communication on social media is really personable, which is why I think a lot of Swans fans probably stream towards you, because the way you talk about it, you love the team, obviously. You're really passionate, and you're always somehow ahead of the knowledge. So I guess I'm going to ask the question that everyone probably wants to know is, like, who's your insider at the Swan side?
I actually don't have a player I talk to. Like I said, so many people just reach out because they want to talk as well. Like you said, people just, they just come and they talk. And some people are brilliant, absolutely brilliant with the stuff that they'll tell me. And some stuff I'm like, okay, I can't put that out there. Now, that's your personal business. I'm not putting that out there.
Insider.
People are just so open, and it's great. I love it.
Okay, I guess you're from Melbourne way. We were just talking a bit before. You're currently living in Geelong. How did you become a Swans fan?
Well, back in the day, mum and dad, one's Carlton, one's Collingwood, and they're like, nah, you can't go for one because I hate that team. And the other was like, yeah, vice versa. The Swans had just moved to Sydney. They're all over tally. Wiz was sitting on heads, kicking bags. I'm like, this is brilliant. This is me. And they're like, all right, you pick, you stick. And I copped it growing up, mate. Copped it. Then Kelly won the Brownlow, and I was up and about like nothing. And then 96 were in the grand final. And I was just like, oh. But the heartbreak. But eventually we got there, broke the drought, and it's been no turning back since.
Awesome. Yeah. And what about the kids? Have you converted them to made them stick?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The wife's got the dog, I've got the kids.
Yeah. Stolen them all. That's awesome, mate. I guess, we were talking about the Wiz. Tell me, your favourite players, former and current?
Former's got to be Kelly. Like I say, when I was copping it, that was the beacon. Like, he was just a champion. There's nothing more that you'd want out of a footballer than that guy. Current as Patley, because he just, whenever he's around the ball, he's buzzing, the excitement's up, and you just know he's going to do something. But Heaney's pushing him. He's coming. Oh, mate, he's an excitement machine.
Well, poor Kelly, I was thinking about it the other day, like, him being in Sydney, the captain, the Brownlow, not only the player on the field and also off the field, like, he kind of set up almost like the culture of the Bloods going forward, wasn't it?
I hear, like you say, people reach out, tell me stuff, and I wasn't fully across that, how the Bloods culture started to grow and everything like that. Apparently Maxfield, when he came over from Richmond, was a real driving force behind that.
Oh, right.
And he got injured going into that 05 grand final, but they said he was a real catalyst of making that a focal point.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was really interesting to find out. Yeah.
Right, and then that's obviously just kind of taken a thing of its own. Now you look at the new crop, and it's just, it almost feels like the culture's consistent over the years.
Definitely. They've instilled guys in positions like Brett Kirk. It's the heartblood of the club, and that's what you need. And you can see that now with the guys that are sticking around, like with Logan signing. I mean, the money that guy would have been thrown at, but he knows we're on track, and he loves the culture. They're all very close, especially with COVID. They've really formed bonds, and that's so important for a football club to be able to go out and want to have that other person's back. It's kind of nice. Like in Sydney, it's, as you probably would realise, it's not a massive AFL heartland as you like compared to, say, Victoria or South Australia or WA. So it kind of is a little bit quieter for the fellas. Like, so I bumped into some of the players around my local area, and no one's really bothering them. So apart from me, so sorry about that, Parker and Heaney and a couple of the other fellas I bumped into. But it kind of gives them an opportunity to kind of live a regular life without having to be the camera right in their faces all the time. Like, maybe that's kind of made a big difference to Buddy's health over the years as well. Definitely. I mean, that was the main catalyst for Lockett. I mean, that guy in a fishbowl, and he hates. Yeah, he hates that. He hates the crowd. Yeah. So to be able to come up here, do his thing, be able to walk down the street, everything like that, and with Buddy, like you say, for his mental health especially, the fact that it got to the point that he had to step away from the game going into a finals when he was up and about and we were up and about, that's been huge for, I think, for the other players in the competition, to be able to look at someone like him and go, all right, if he's able to put his hand up, and I'm stepping away no matter what the current situation is, because mental health is so important, it's given them the confidence to be able to do the same, and you're seeing it a lot more. Even Dustin Martin at the moment, absolutely, he stepped away. I mean, back in the day there would have been too much stigma, and he's broken down barriers, not just on the field, off the field. Yep, absolutely. And it's like, it's so important. You've got to remember that these are players, they're people, they've got families, they've got dreams, they've got futures themselves outside the game as well. It just so happens that they are insanely gifted, and they do something every week that we absolutely adore and we pay them good money for. But at the end of the day, they've got to look after number one first, right? Definitely. And people have to remember too, especially with the power of social media. I mean, we all love our footy, and especially with the fantasy football and stuff like that, people, they tag them in. It's like, mate, if you want to have a rant, have a rant. Like, that's your social media, use it as you like, but don't put it in front of the person. Like, really, like, have a conscience, because, like you say, they're only people in the end of the day. That's it. All right, look, we touched on Buddy. The big news is Buddy kicking the 1,000 last night. You were there, I were there. My throat's killing me. Tell me, what's going through your emotions? I know you're buzzing. Oh, mate, buzzing. Oh, yeah, like you say, buzzing. It's crazy. Like, first time SCG. Seriously, what are the chances? And then, I don't know, I can't even talk about it now still. Like, I need to process. Like, I haven't watched the game afterwards. I've watched 100 videos that I took last night. I tried uploading stuff. It's not happening. Like, they're just buzzing. Like, once in a lifetime. It's never, ever, ever, ever happening again. Ever. It was just insane. Like, a lot more. I think, what, 3/4 of the crowd was actually on the pitch at one point. It felt like it was insane. Tell me about, where were you as it happened, and what did you see from where you were? I was in the Bill O'Reilly, up where you guys were, right behind the kick. It was crazy. I've got the video on that, but the guys ran on so early, and like, you're taking it all in, watching everyone run on and everything like that, and then it starts to sink in, and it's like, what if he kicked into the man on the mark? What if he missed? It's just like, that's a long run back. Oh, yeah. It took him a while to clear it out, but I thought everyone was pretty well behaved. From what I saw out there, it probably took longer from back in, like, talking to other people about Plugger when he kicked his 1300th. They go, oh, that went so much longer. I'm like, phones. Every second person's got to have that selfie.
Everyone was taking that
selfie. I can't judge because I was doing the same.
I was doing the same thing. Sorry, everyone. I got too much footage, if anything. Oh, no such thing. You got those memories, mate. Like, they're a bit hazy at the moment, but they'll live forever. I woke up, as soon as I woke up this morning, I went straight to my phone and I just kind of relived that moment. That is up on socials. So we were sitting right behind the kick as well, and as like on the O'Reilly stand, a few steps away from the fence. And we had a great angle, and as soon as it kicked off,
it just went mental. I lost my lucky hat. One of my shoes came clean off me, and I had to like fish my shoe out, and then I didn't have enough time to put my shoe on and get in the ground, so I'm running onto the pitch with one shoe in hand and my camera in the other, and I'm just like, it was just amongst it all.
Oh mate, you've done well. You've done real well. My AFLW pin, I got a jacket made up, and awesome lady that I know, and she made it as one of the buttons. Yeah. That's on the SCG somewhere.
Oh, no, yeah. I'm sure they'll set you out with another one. Yeah. Sort them out with another one, guys. Yeah. ladies and gentlemen. Awesome, mate. So, yeah, look, the buddy experiment, I guess, has it paid itself off? I know the controversy at the time was he was meant to go over to GWS, and then we ended up throwing an absolute stack of money to him with an enormous contract. All the pundits were like, talking about it every time Buddy's injured for like a week. It gets talked about it again. We have a bit of a fantasy of looking back on it now that we've kind of seen more or less the contract completed and all the milestones. Was it worth it?
100%. Before the milestone, 100%. Premierships are hard to win. He took us a long way a lot of the time. The number of times that guy won games off his own boot, ridiculous. So that alone, plus marketing. You think of the money they pump into advertising and going out to schools and all that type of stuff. They did it with Lockett. That was one of the reasons the following started to grow, because you need that focal point, the face, the goal kicker, everything like that. So on that side alone, marketing, 100%. As a player, 100%. So to me, it's been a success. And to all the haters, what are you going to do when he resigns?
That's it. Start hating again, guys. That's all you're good for. Look, will he go again?
Oh, yeah. Unless, if we win the flag, I can see him just going.
Yeah.
Him and Kennedy, I can see him walking.
Yeah.
And you couldn't blame him.
No.
You couldn't blame him. I'd hate to see him go, but I couldn't blame him.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Kennedy, actually, a new role for him, right? So, like, he played on the wing yesterday.
He did. It was a big change. Change up. Everyone was a bit, back line doesn't suit him, and he did seem a bit lost under the high ball coming in and stuff like that. I was like, all right, back in the coaches. He's got that hard ball ability. When it's the crazy ball, like Hewitt used to be able to get in there, get in and under, get it out. Yeah. But he didn't. Like, even last night, our skills coming out the back line were a bit wonky. Yeah. And he was a contributor to that last week. Yeah. But when he pushed up onto that wing, and we had the likes of, say, a Heaney, a Mills, a Rowbottom in the middle, and still a Kennedy pushing in off the wing, that's a combination that I like. I think
really like that.
A lot better.
He looked way more comfortable out there. He knew exactly where he was running to. And he wasn't so reliant, like you said, on like any of the. He's never been the kind of player to float onto a mark, is it? Like,
nah.
He get the ball on the ground.
Mark, that's more when he's going forward. But what I noticed a lot, he had more influence on the game because being on the wing, he was directing traffic. And it's like, you need those heads out there. It is the team of the young bloods. That's been the driving force, but you still need those heads. He stepped down as captain, but he's still a leader.
For sure. Absolutely. On the pitch, he always will be at this point.
Oh, yeah.
Now, so he was on fire last night. The back line has been a bit touch and go, I think, the last 2 weeks. I was actually really worried that they might kick a fair few on us. They didn't convert very well, which was a big contributor to us again this week, as last week. How do you think that's going to look over the next couple of weeks?
It'll take time. It's a back six to me is always almost the most important part of a championship team is your back six, and it has been since Grundy's been gone and Smith. Those guys, it's been unsettled. They're building. Paddy's been brilliant. That's, to me, that was the key ingredient. The missing jigsaw puzzle. Losing Dawson hurt a lot, but Blakey, he's still new to that role and he's killing it. They're still finding their feet, and like just those little kicks last night coming out, it's like
not
they
were
almost
enough.
It's like they were almost reading it. Like you said, they were just a bit off. But other than that, like, apparently I didn't catch the VFL game, unfortunately, but apparently Gould and Melican were really good. So be able to have that depth, competition for spots will drive the team to. Apparently they got the heat put on them last week at half time. And that's when they come out in the second half and started intercepting everything.
Yeah.
I heard it I think it was a Parker interview, Luke Parker.
Yeah.
And he said, people won't know this, he goes, but the back line had the heat put on them at halftime, and they just came out and responded. So I think the ability's there. It's just the cohesion, which will come with time.
Yeah, and we've had a bit of a situation there. Like Aaliyah, we lost Aaliyah, and you know how good he is, All Australian last year.
Yeah.
Dawson, we know, is absolutely elite. He's taken away from us as well for absolute chips. So
don't even get me started.
But we are basically kind of running around with a bit of a new line basically in the back and some younger guys. So I guess the follow-up question is the new team, the young bloods that you mentioned. How do you think it's going? Any players that you love? Any players that you're kind of sure? Talk to us.
Can we just read the whole 22?
Yeah.
Like, seriously, these young guys, above and beyond their years.
Yeah.
Like, the COVID years has kept them in good stead. The guys like your Warners and Campbells, and we were missing McInerney last night.
Yep.
The guy, he's playing like a 5-6 year player.
Yeah. Confident.
Yeah, and Warner. Like, his first year I was like, oh yeah, he's hard at it, I'm not sure about this bloke, but then his first 5-6 games last year, crazy.
Yeah, huge part of the wins.
Oh yeah, and that's what's been missing, because we've been, even though we're a hard team, the contested ball and clearances has hurt us. Hickey's made a huge difference to that. He may not be a hit to advantage top, but he gets his own clearances.
Yeah.
And that's so important to a team. Get the ball,
week in, week
get
out.
the momentum going your direction, and then we're starting to link up play fast, and it brings you forwards into the game that gives them a chance. Like a Heaney, even though he's going midfield, he's still so dangerous forward.
Yeah. So
I'm loving it.
across the ground.
Oh mate. Yeah.
Like Tom McCartan switching roles, unbelievable. He's now elite back there. I think we've got
21, 22, whatever he is. Crazy.
He's a veteran at the game at 21 years old, like changed positions and everything else. Paddy McCartan, forget about it. We know how good he is, and he's immediately started showing it. A little bit rusty last week, as you'd imagine, but right off the bat this week he was floating around everywhere. McInerney, he's just amazing. Rowie, I think he's got a really high ceiling. I'm really looking forward to seeing him. Like Chad Warner, far out.
Campbell.
Yeah, Campbell, forget about it. And then we haven't even spoken about Errol, who's probably going to be an elite player for a long time.
Already is.
Yeah.
Already is. And he's pushing into the midfield too. Yeah. And Campbell will do that in time too. Yeah. They're only small by stature, but they're elite.
Yeah.
They're just elite. And it's exciting. That's all I can say. It's exciting times, man.
Peter Adams. Like, we still haven't seen a whole lot of him. McLean, I think personally, he just steals that spot and keeps it. He's just been amazing.
When we come up against a team that maybe like Melbourne has got two dominant ruckmen, Laddams may come in. I think at this stage, like you say, McLean, McDonald, Franklin, you can't have any more talls than that in the forward line. I copped a bit for saying I didn't like what I saw as yet from Laddams. I didn't see a lot of him at West Coast, but he didn't have that 100% like everyone on the pitch has at the moment. So if he can bring that into his game, I think we'll see a lot more of him. But unless it's a dominant team with two ruckmen, I think he's just quite outside the 22 at this stage. This stage.
That's okay. We don't need him to be a start-up. He just, so long as he plays his role, right?
Oh, that's what it's all about, is depth. I always say it's not the 22, it's the club. And especially now, you can have guys laid out, everything like that. And if you've got the depth, they'll contribute to the wins in the season, and which will put you towards top four, which is what it's all about, is that home final. Double chance. That's what you need.
That's what you need.
You need it.
And we haven't even spoken about some of the other guys, like your Gus Bus and your Sheether, which high raps on those kids already.
Definitely, and well deserved. Like, I thought Gus was going to possibly come in late if it rained. I thought one of the tours might have gone out. He might have come in, being such a hard player and everything like that. Like you say, Sheether, there's so much depth. There's so much depth coming through, and it's so great to see. Like, everyone bangs on about the academy and everything like that. But
Melbourners hate the academy.
Do they ever? Do they ever? But it's about growing the game, like you said yourself about you got into the game by playing the game. And without the academy, it's not going to grow. And if it doesn't grow, it's going to die. And I mean, who wants that? You want a national competition. And when we say national, we mean national. The next step is Tasmania, Northern Territory. It's got to happen.
All right, let's touch on that. Tassie, do they deserve a team, and when?
Now, and bloody oath. Oh, mate. They've done everything they can do. I've been seeing plans about a new stadium. And if they do that, they've just got to be in. They've got to be in. You said earlier about states that it's a heartland. Tassie is a heartland of football. There's been so many gun players that have come out of that state, and the following of the local league is huge. And if you gave them a team, they'd come out in force.
Yeah, no doubt. So all of the fans down there in Tassie endorsed. Get yourselves a team, eh? Right. So I guess we can just have a general chat. AFL state of the game at the moment. What's going through your mind? Anything you want to talk about?
Loving the style. Everyone's changing. Everyone's got to be fast. Everyone's got to be high scoring, because you can't protect a lead anymore. You just can't. You can even see it from the Cats last night. They've tried to bring. It was more so last week. You really started to see it, but it's the way of the future, and it's great for the fans. So I'm loving it. Yeah.
So some of the rule changes. So like coming out of the box. The rush behinds, you're allowed to come straight out of the box really quickly, stand the mark rule, all of these things contributing to the change?
They are in ways, definitely. It's definitely the 666, because you're seeing so many scores from centre bounces. You're not being able to put that extra man behind the ball at the centre bounce, so when they move it forward, the forwards can contest one-on-one. I think that's been huge. I love the stand rule, because you can get that runner going past, stuff like that, like you're saying, play on out of the square, gets the ball long and out of there. I think they've been good. I can't see any negatives to them. There's traditionalists and say, stop playing with the game, but the state of the game that it was, they had to do something. It was getting too stale almost.
I know that I was looking at the stats last year and it's almost like the state of the game, the scoring reduced for a period of time, for a long period of time there. It didn't explode like they thought it would after all these rule changes, but the state of the game in terms of the enjoyment of watching the game was well higher. So I think this season already, last round was incredible. Obviously this round's incredible because Body has kicked 1,000. but on a general sense, it sounds like, and it feels like some of these rule changes are really coming through.
Definitely. You got the teams that are making the most of it, like a Bulldogs, like a Melbourne. For so long, coaches were restrict the other team to a low score, and our systems will get us the win. But now you just can't stop them for long enough. So if you can't beat them, join them.
That's it. And it's like I know the Swannies were kind of copying it some time ago for just playing boring style of football, but the style of the game was winning games. So what are you going to do? But it's a very, very, very different style, and we have to adapt as well.
Definitely. 05, everything like that. I think it was even Demetrio to come out and said, they won't win a flag with that style of play. Mate, can I put that on his doorstep or something? I don't know. I was going to say headstone, but that's wrong. That's too far.
Sorry, Demetrio.
Cut that out.
Awesome, mate. All right, so look, a couple more exciting things going on. Swansland, AFLW. We're getting our own team. Tell us.
Finally, it should have been day one. Like we said before about the growth of the game. If you don't play it, you don't love it. Or if you don't see it, you don't know it. And for the girls just to have the opportunity in Victoria, the flow-on effect has been crazy. It's been so good to see, and finally, I've been loving watching and getting behind it, but I haven't had that passion just yet. Because I tried to support the Geelong team because I live in Geelong, but you know deep in your heart that it's coming. And so I couldn't get fully invested, but this, when we come, I'm all in.
I know. I'm the same. I actually do watch a game every now and then, but I just can't get myself 100% invested yet because there's obviously not a red and white team out there. But having said that, it's mad for the game. I think it's brilliant, and just things. Girls are more interested in watching the girls play, and that means my girlfriend wants to go watch more games, which is brilliant for me. It makes me happy.
Win-win.
Yeah, that's it. Everyone's a winner. It's what do you think? We should still row bottom from Gold Coast and bring it back down?
You'd love to, but we'll see. I'd love to though. I mean, she's a champion. Out and out champion. Well, let's just make it a family club. Let's just get all the Warners over.
The Warners.
Logan's got a brother who is killing it as well. Get him over.
There's 4 Warners.
I think there's 4 Warners.
So we've got 2 more we can steal from them.
Who else we got?
Logan McDonald's has got the other brother. I don't 100% know of how many of them have sisters and stuff that can play in the game.
Well, that's true. That's a good
So that's
point.
Something we don't know.
I think Kirk's got a daughter. There's a couple of daughters though. Lachlan's got a daughter. There's a bunch of them running around the academy and stuff like that. And exciting.
That's so exciting. I know Nick Smith has got twins, twin girls, so you never know, in another 18 years or so, we might see them both on the pitch, just shutting down every single small forward going around. Thank you so much for your time.
Man,
it's been amazing. I think we're still absolutely buzzing from the night. You're off to go have a tour of the SCG now, aren't you?
Yep. Go have a walk around. I don't know how much I'll get to see Swans related, but I might have to sneak off.
Yeah. Just have a chat to them. They'll sort you out. All right, mate. It's great to meet you.
You too, man.
All the best. And if you don't know about Zane and what he does, look up Zane Red-and-White in Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, anything you need. Or in fact, just keep an eye on any of those platforms. You'll probably see his content coming out. On the outside as well, you do a bit of art.
Yeah, just a bit of a hobby on the outside. That's on more on Instagram. I do that stuff. That's Zaneo.art at Instagram. Yeah, jump on and have a look. Take commissions and stuff lately, which has been crazy.
Yeah.
It blows my mind. People reach out to me and go, hey, would you mind doing this? It's like someone's asked me to do their son. It's just like no pressure.
Yeah.
Give it a go. Give it a go, and hopefully he likes it.
Yeah.
So there we
Well,
go.
we saw a couple, and I'll take some shots of it, but they look wicked. So yeah, you definitely have a bit of a expertise in that side as well as anything else. But on behalf of all Swans fans, great to talk to you, and it's good to put a face and some voice behind the name of Zane.
Cheers, man. Pleasure's all mine. Been great meeting you two. You guys, what do you guys do? Love it. Absolutely
thanks,
love
mate.
it. Nah, seriously, I'm trying to get it out there so more people can find it, because it is missed, and we need it, and use it supplying it with the goods, and I'm loving it, man.
Thank you, mate. That's awesome. Thank you very much. All right. Quick bevy, over and out.
This concludes the interview with Zane Red-and-White. If you're a Swans fan and a user of social media, please make sure to follow Zane on Twitter, Facebook or Instagram. His insights are always top notch, and you'll be amongst some of the best Swans crew around. That's Zane Red-and-White in whatever platform you choose. Thank you for listening to A Bevy of Bloods.